Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays hit a 35% K rate with the splitter entering Friday, and he put it to good use because early on, Doug, he was just mowing them down.
The splitter was just unhittable starting out of the gate, a ton of swing and miss. So not only they were taking swings, they weren't making any contact at all. And that first inning, it looked like he was just going to cruise to victory.
He was dealing. We get to the third, facing Tommy Edman. And that one's up in the zone, and Tommy rips it over Vladimir Guerrero's head. That's down the right field line. That's going to be a double. And again, it was so close, though, but it was right over Vladdy's head.
Well, the thing is, they were hunting for that fastball because they couldn't mess with the splitter, so they were trying to find something to hit that was elevated and straight, and they got that pitch to hit, and Edman hit it in the corner.
So they, of course, walked Ohtani. So you got first and second, 2 outs, and then Will Smith. He's been clutch for so many years for the Dodgers. Hits that one down the left field line, and LA has a 1-0 lead because that scored Edman. A couple batters later, it's bases loaded. Mookie Betts, 3 for 24, Doug, in the World Series entering this at bat.
Well, he was looking for the fastball, and he got one up and in, and that's the spot he can handle it because right now he's struggling with the ball away from him. But that ball in where he could just kind of fire his hands through, he was able to get to. Kind of a mistake by Gausman to go up and in.
And that was huge because that drove in 2, so now it's a 3-0 game. And here's George Springer, been battling injuries this entire series. Comes up big there with an RBI single as the Blue Jays get on the board. Now it's 3-1. Let's go to the 4th inning. Yoshinobu Yamamoto out there for LA and gets Dalton Varsho to ground into the 4-6-3 double play. He's been solid for the Dodgers, and he was again in this one. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, though. Same score. Blue Jays, they got nobody on. They got 2 out, but they got Vladimir Guerrero at the plate, and he rips this one down the left field line. Easy double for him. So with that being said, you've got some activity in the Dodgers bullpen. But Dave Roberts stays with Yamamoto. Again, because it's 2 outs, now you got 2 runners on, and Yamamoto, well, he's got a splitter too, Doug.
Oh, he does, and it's nasty.
Varsho goes down swinging. Yamamoto in 6 innings, struck out 6, only gave up 1 earned run. Now the bottom of the 7th. You saw Roboleski warming up. Now he's on the bump for LA. It gets Andres Jimenez there with the fastball. He's hyped up because he got out of a huge jam. Top of the 8th, Shohei at the plate. And how did he hit this ball where he did, considering where it was?
I mean, the distance and the power. He's out in front of this. He takes one hand off the bat, and he still slices it off the center field wall. And a good outfield by Varsho, who couldn't quite get that. Look how far in front he is. Hand comes off, still gets the backspin and the distance.
So now the Dodgers have bases loaded here. There's 2 outs. Sir Anthony Dominguez gets Teoscar Hernandez on a fastball way out of the zone. So big strikeout there for Dominguez. And now the bottom half of the inning, Springer comes through clutch again, fights that one off somehow, Doug, to send it down the right field line.
I mean, it was self-defense, but he had enough left to get the barrel to the ball somehow.
So now you got first and second, 2 outs. Roki Sasaki's out there, and he gets out of the jam with the ground out to second. So Dodgers need 3 more outs. So who do they go to? Sasaki's still out there. And up and in on Kirk, and it hits him on the hand.
I mean, Sasaki, this is a new role for him this postseason. He still kind of has the jitters, still not quite accurate. A little command issue there.
All right, so Addison Barger is your next batter after pinch runner for Kirk, and he hits that one to the wall. He hit in the wall.
I mean, this is so crazy. I mean, he gets the ball right between the turf and the wall. And so the right move as an outfielder, you put your hands up like ground rule.
Begging for a ground rule double.
But, you know, if you reach in and play it, you know, you jeopardize that opportunity. So they made the call, and they put him on second.
And they bring in Tyler Glass now in relief of Sasaki. So you got second and third because it was a ground rule double. The runner had to go back to third. So there's your first out. And now, line drive to left. How about this play from Kike Hernandez to come in and get the force for the double play on Barger at second?
Well, big question is where's Barger going right there? He's too aggressive. He gets off. Good read by Kike Hernandez to throw on the run and get the double play.
So huge play there by the Dodgers to get the double play to end the game, and now they are going to a Game 7 tomorrow night. And how about Dave Roberts? He now has the most wins as a manager in postseason history when facing elimination, passing Bruce Bochy, who's also, of course, won a few World Series titles as well. SportsCenter on the Road is presented by Geico. We welcome in Tim Kurkjian from the Rogers Center there in Toronto. And Tim, we do get a Game 7 Saturday night to determine who's going to win the World Series here in 2025. But for the Dodgers to get there, they needed a really good performance from Yamamoto, and he gave it to him. What was your sense of how he pitched in this game?
Well, he pitched really well again, 6 innings and 1 run. But we all thought, based on what we heard before the game, that he was going to throw 100 pitches, 120 pitches if necessary. I was a little surprised they took him out after 6, which means the bullpen had to get 9 outs. And the only guy that they truly trust in that bullpen is Roki Sasaki. We figured when he came in, he would pitch 2 innings, but he got in trouble in the 9th and they had to take him out. Tyler Glasnow came in, so the beleaguered Dodger bullpen got 9 outs tonight without allowing a run, and that's one reason that they won this game and forced a Game 7.
Yeah, a lot of people in that scenario probably would not have put their money on the Dodgers pulling out. We even saw Mookie Betts a little worried when we saw Tyler Glasnow coming in, but they do get it done. And that 9th inning, though, Tim, was a wild one to say the least. You've been around the game a long time. You get the ground rule double. How that ball lodged between the padding and the warning track, no one will ever know. And then you get a double play to end the game. What did you make of how that game ended?
Well, that's one of the wildest 9th innings I've ever seen for a potential clinching game in the World Series. John Schneider, the manager of the Blue Jays, said he's never seen a ball lodge where that ball did, and that hurt the Blue Jays because if it hadn't lodged there, who knows which direction it bounces. There's a good chance that's a double, maybe a triple to score a run, and that changes everything when it becomes an automatic double and then runners at second and third. The Blue Jays are a great first pitch hitting team. They have 41 first pitch hits in this postseason, and Ernie Clement swung at the first pitch and had a weak pop-up to a huge out in the 9th, and then line drive to left field, and Addison Barger got doubled off second base. Sorry, the kid's a really good player. You cannot get doubled off on that play and end a World Series game like that. It was a bad read. He made a bad mistake, and the Dodgers advanced on one of the wildest finishes to a World Series game that I've ever seen.
And now both teams, Tim, have to put away the emotion of that ending to focus now on winning a Game 7. I mean, there's pitching decisions to be made. What are you expecting Saturday night there in Toronto?
Well, Max Scherzer's going to start for sure for the Blue Jays. He's 41 years old. We know he won't be rattled by this experience. But since Tyler Glasnow pitched the 9th inning and he was supposed to start tomorrow, my guess is he's not starting tomorrow. Maybe Shohei Ohtani will start tomorrow. They have to make a decision on this. This is why one game leads to another in such a beautiful way. Game 7 tomorrow. Just like we say, every time you go to the ballpark, you might see something that you've never seen before. That applied a couple times tonight, and there's no telling now what's going to happen in Game 7.
Just makes it even more intriguing to what's going to happen Saturday night. Game 7 World Series, Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Tim Kurkjian, appreciate the perspective as always. New on SportsCenter, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts.
Not sure the pitching situation, but Glass will be available. Everyone will be available.
You don't know who you're going to start yet?
No,
That's
not
TBD?
yet. TBD.
Okay.
Other questions for Doc? We'll go to Dylan in the second row.
When you say everyone, does that include Yamamoto?
Not Yamamoto. Sorry.
We'll go to Katie in the third row.
Dave, first, your thoughts on how that bottom of the 9th inning transpired?
Wow, gets 0-2 to Kirk and hits him with the split, and then Barger gets a fastball, good piece of hitting, and from that point on, for me, I just felt that, Roki wasn't as sharp, and I just felt we needed some swing and miss, and Glass was the guy, so I had him loose, kind of looming, and just a situation. I was, the pop up was huge. But I was looking for somebody that can get some swing and miss and some kind of elite stuff, and that's why I decided to go to Glass.
Justin Dean comes in as a defensive replacement, and obviously the game finds you right away. But his awareness to signal that play dead immediately allowed it to just be a 2-base rule. What can you say about his cognizance there?
No, it was great, but, as the rule is current, you want to play that ball actually. and you can go back and replay the lodged ball, but he still was aware of it being lodged, and then the outfield umpire kind of blew it dead as well. So it worked out great, but certainly good awareness.
Third row on your right, Doc.
Hey, Dave. Were you happy with the changes you made to the lineup tonight?
I was. First off, Miggy played the heck out of second base and made some huge plays. And we were hoping for that kind of energy infusion tonight. We got that from Miggy. Obviously, the Kike play, the double play, but in between ball was huge from Kike to Miggy to end the game. And then Mookie, I liked him. We talked about letting the game come to him a little bit, and he got a huge hit for us.
Should we expect a similar lineup tomorrow?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what we were doing. Yeah.
Standing on your far left in the corner, John.
Yeah, is Ohtani possible to start tomorrow?
It's a possibility.
More likely to start than relief due to the rules?
It's a possibility. We're not certain, but it's a possibility.
Is Glasnow a possibility to start?
Glasnow is a possibility to pitch tomorrow. They're all possibilities, John. That's right.
Okay, got you, Doc.
Sorry, John.
Doc, did you consider dropping Betts even further down than 4 or out of the lineup at all?
Not at all.
And if not, why?
Because he's one of our guys, and I'm going to, as they say, ride or die with him. And so I felt that, putting him in the 4 slows things down, lets the game come to him, but I'm not going to run for Mookie Betts. He's just too good of a player. And so that was not a consideration.
Seated right near Joel in the third row.
Piggyback on the previous question. If the Shohei agreed with it, what kind of conversation did you have with him for tomorrow?
Just kind of figuring out what his temperature is on starting versus coming out of the pen. And so we're close to a decision.
He never pitched it with a 3 days rest in the regular season. Are you confident to send him out to the mound?
I am. We all are. This is Game 7, so there's a lot of things that people haven't done, and you've just got to trust your players and try to win a baseball game.
Go to Ron and then AJ. Ron up front.
As the ball flares off Jimenez's bat, what's going through your mind till you see?
Stay up in the air. And Kike just gets great jumps. He is one of my favorite baseball players to watch. He's one of the headiest baseball players I've ever been around. And, even just the getting off on the ball, the awareness to get to his arm, get the ball into second base. He's just a heck of a baseball player. And he did that, I think, from left field to first base, too, in another series, or it might have been this series. But heck of a baseball player, heck of a play.
And when you looked up, were you surprised he was there?
He got a good jump on it. I was praying.
And we'll go to AJ in the fourth row on your left, Doc.
What did you think of Yamamoto today, and what went into the decision to lift him after 6 innings?
He was good. I thought Yamamoto was very good, actually. I just felt that Vladdy at bat, the Bichette at bat, certainly gets out of that 6th inning. But I just felt that I wanted to give Robo a clean inning, and I just didn't feel great about somebody potentially cleaning up his mess in the 7th, and I felt that was just Yamamoto did his job for the night, in my opinion.
Third row on your right, Doc.
All right, Dave Roberts said something very factual there, but also enlightening. He says it's a Game 7. There's going to be maybe several players do something they're not accustomed to doing because it is all hands on deck. I do want to go back to something Mookie Betts said earlier. He says, clearly I'm going to feel anxiety going into a Game 7 like he does before every game. Every player is going to feel it tomorrow because it is one game to determine who's going to win the World Series. But who do you think that anxiety, though, is going to affect the most, Doug? The Dodgers or the Blue Jays?
I mean, it's going to affect both teams to a large degree, and I think it's a personal thing. I know it's normal and natural to just feel worried about what might happen, and you're trying to play through scenarios. Mookie Betts is someone who works so hard and tries to cover all his bases and prepare, and you realize you can't prepare for every scenario. We just saw a ball wedged into the wall.
Right. That doesn't happen.
So it's fun, but both teams, the Blue Jays are at home, so they're our home.